I'm ready.
We'll start with Neil McCready from rebelgrove.com.
Hey, DJ. Obviously, this season's been completely different for you guys defensively from a production standpoint. I know there was a game early in the season against Arkansas where you gave up 676 yards and 51 points. And then after that, some of the guys have talked about they felt like things kind of came together and there was a turning point. I'm curious from your perspective, where did things sort of change in a positive way over the course of this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you just look at it numbers wise and points and all that, from that point on after that game, we have really played well. I thought we played well to start the season as well. I mean, obviously, that game was not our best by any means. The week before that, we were in some tough spots and struggled a little bit. But really, overall, when you look at how we started the season, I think to answer your question, this goes back to something that we really built in the offseason. And it was really a matter of taking ownership and pride in what we're doing, knowing that we have to improve and play better. Our players, total credit goes to them. They have really bought into that and bought into playing together. We did a lot of things. It was about the team. There's certain things scheme-wise and different players, and all those things help. But really, the number one thing was about just playing for one another, being part of a team. And so that was big throughout the offseason. And I think after that game you just spoke of, we really leaned hard on that. We really went back to, the things that we had talked about and built on and said, man, we put a lot into this thing. We're not going to let it slip away. And again, to our guys' credit, they responded the right way, and I think it played very well.
We'll now go to David Ubben from The Athletic.
DJ, what's your feel, especially from the older guys on this team, of what it means to have the season you guys have had and be on the doorstep of a really big year and to be in the Sugar Bowl?
Well, that's obviously for those guys, the coolest thing about coaching, I think, is to see the look on the young men's faces when they experience success. I think it's such a confidence builder for life, and ultimately that's what we're all here for. And so these guys, to this point in their career, had never won more than 6 games in a season, never been part of all these things, and Sugar Bowl and all the great things that we've accomplished as a team. And I think that's really it's stuff that you can always draw back to and build on as you go and have a family and go do life's work, whatever that is for you. And so it's been really cool. It's been enjoyable. It's been a great thing to be a part of. I totally feel like we've seen, guys just change their day-to-day, how they feel, how they operate, what they do. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
Now go to Parrish Alford from the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal.
DJ, going back to that Arkansas game you were talking about earlier, it seems that you guys have brought pressure more often, have blitzed more after that game. Is that correct? And if so, how did you all arrive at that as something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think I'm sure, again, if you look at the numbers, that would be a true statement. We're just trying to create negative plays. We're trying to get offenses off track, which I think is just a key fundamental of defense. Again, I'll give credit to the players on that. We have some guys that are really doing a great job of winning their one-on-one. And so, our sack number has gone way up and negative plays have gone way up. And I think when you create those explosives, we talk about limiting the explosives on offense. When you create defensive explosives, which is negative plays and turnovers, and those are the things that really change the game, and so we have certainly focused on that. We worked hard at it, both not just scheme-wise, but execution and technique and fundamentals and effort and all those things. And it has certainly helped us, during this run throughout the season.
We'll next go to Ted Lewis from the New Orleans Times-Picayune.
Yes, all the things you talked about getting better on. How satisfying is it as a coach when you push the buttons and they work?
Yeah, again, I'll just say it's fun to be part of a team when the guys are bought into the team and playing together and then experiencing success. That's what it's all about. We really work hard. I think we coach and play the ultimate team sport, and I think it's one of those things that's getting lost amongst our society and everything we do, and being part of something bigger than yourself. And so, when all that's going on in the world and we can get a group of guys together and really buy that and believe in, being a part of something bigger than themselves, like being accountable to the guy next to him, it's fun. It's rewarding. It's a cool thing to be a part of. And so, obviously with the success we've had so far, and we certainly want to go finish this and play our last game the right way. It's fun to go through that with your guys and just see how that has an effect on them and their daily demeanor, just the positive attitude they have with it.
We'll go to Eric Kelly from KWKT TV in Waco.
Hey, Coach, just in terms of that Baylor offense, especially with Gary Bohannon under center, what just stands out to you about what they're able to do on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bohannon is a really, talented quarterback. He's a guy that can beat you throwing the ball in, running it. And I think what stands out the most from their offense is their ability to run the ball. They're very well coached. They're sound at what they do. They have a scheme they know what they want to do, and they're consistent about it. They certainly want to establish the run game. And, I think really what stands out as well is the shots they take down the field. They've hit some big plays and play action shots to Thornton stands out down the field. They put that ball up to him and he'll go run and catch it. And he's got great speed and ball skills. And so, it's a challenge for us. And we've got to make sure that we come ready to play physical and stop the run game, as well as, limit those shots down the field that I think are the game changers when we get a big chunk play.
Next, we'll go to Nick Suss from the Clarion Ledger. Hold on for 1 minute. We'll adjust the microphone.
Sure.
Perfect. And
Sorry about
back
that.
to
Is that
Nick
better?
Suss. Yep, a little bit better. Nick Suss now. Go ahead, Nick.
DJ, if you can think back with the 3-2-6, just what was the original spark of inspiration, if you remember, for trying that out, and what kind of kept you guys sticking with it through some of the growing period at the beginning of the season?
I just think as a coach, it's always about how do you get your best guys on the field? What's best for the personnel you have, as opposed to saying, this is our scheme, this is our system, and just go plug it in and, whatever guys you have, make them go do it. I really think as a coach, that's our job to find the best answer. And so it was something we actually played around with a little bit at the end of last year. I thought we played, go look at our bowl game last year and some of the games later in the year where we played better. It was something that we dabbled with. So it started right there. And then the offseason, it became, okay, let's really, really get entrenched in this, involved in it. And, we studied a lot of film, several different teams and also ourselves, and said, where do we need to be better? Where can we help ourselves? And, it's never just one thing. It's never, hey, we just got to recruit better, or we got to go get transfers, or we got to change our scheme, or it's a combination of everything. It's just, you got the guys we have, we got to help them as coaches. How do you do that? You help develop them in the off season with technique, fundamentals, weight room training, all that stuff. All right, let's give them the best scheme we can that gives us best chance to win, and go, coach it like crazy. And so that's, it started around that time, but it was a full deal the entire offseason to really get it right.
So one final question. This is from Michael Katz, Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal.
Hey, DJ, I don't think we've talked to you since before the season started, but Sam Williams has obviously had an All-American caliber season. Did you see that coming from what you saw over the summer, and just what has his presence meant to this defense this season?
Probably not a guy I could be more proud of. And I know, obviously the stats speak for themselves and the type of year he had, and that's all good. It's outstanding, but really the transformation he's made as a person in his life, and just, being accountable both on and off the field, really buying into the team. I talked about it earlier. You talk about a guy that really bought into the team, and it's such a great example for his teammates to say, this guy truly just entrenched himself in the team. And what can I do to be a great teammate? And you look at all the individual things that came from that. Ultimately, we all understand. We know you got to do, you want to do what's best for you and extend your career. All that happened because the guy really, just bought into the team concept totally. And so it's been more of a transformation in Sam in his life than just as the football player. And that's what I'm most proud of. I'm most excited about to watch Sam as he continues on through his football career and in life.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Coach. We really appreciate you taking time away from prep.
All right. Yeah, guys. Thank you. Take care.